Hey Pisces, your June 2023 reading. Before pulling a tarot spread, let's kickstart this reading with an archetype. This is the archetype that you've been embodying for June and will continue to see throughout the month. What have we got? The shapeshifter. Ooh, very like trickster energy in this mercurial Gemini season. Well, what do you know, Pisces? The shapeshifter is the trickster, the elusive, the formless. I'm sure you've heard that Pisces is the most formless of all signs. The shapeshifter has a love of theater, games, and trickery. Its energy appears as one thing, only to reveal a more complex story below the surface. There's actually a little fish on this shapeshifter card as a symbol. The shapeshifter is with all of us to some degree. It is the side of ourselves that is slippery, non-committal, and experimental and longs to dismiss the rules. We need its energy to adapt to the ever-changing landscape of our existence. When the shapeshifter card appears, it is important to imagine you are looking at life through a kaleidoscope rather than a single focus lens. At any moment, the scene may shift, revealing a more enchanting vision than you imagined. Be wary though, as the allure of the kaleidoscope can leave you exhausted and yearning for solid ground. Dancing long-term with the shapeshifter requires a central pillar of integrity that brings us back to our center. So in the light, you're going to experience yourself being very vibrant, adaptive, and even humorous this month. In the reversal, there's a charlatan, people-pleasing, or even trickster-like energy. The shapeshifter to me is Gemini season all over, and we're kind of getting to explore different sides of ourselves without sacrificing any of our authenticity. A quick tidbit on the astrology of the month pertaining to you Pisces. Well, Saturn is in the sign of Pisces, and on June 11th, it's going to station retrograde for a number of months. When Saturn dipped into Pisces in March, you may have found that there was a lot of discipline around one area of your life. There was a lot of new structures forming in an area of your life. You could have been more structured in your health, your daily routine. You may find, there wasn't enough hours in the day for you. You may be seeing some distance in your personal relationships or your one-on-one dynamics and friendships even. You may find that you were becoming more disciplined or masterful in work or your career, or that even your goals and aspirations were becoming more evolved and mature and refined. When Saturn is retrograde in Pisces though, it's actually giving you that breathing space that you need to restructure anything that has already been built up, and now you're thinking, I kind of want to wiggle around this a little bit, I want to shapeshift that energy. Saturn retrograde in Pisces is going to give you the perfect window to do that, starting June 11th onwards. Now let's look at the tarot. Both Pisces and Gemini are the signs of duality. This Gemini season, Pisces, I feel like you're going to get to explore the multifaceted parts of yourself. Keep an eye out for people pleasing, don't lose sight of yourself. And the shapeshifter energy when dark, you could be bringing awareness to people that wear a mask in your life and that perhaps run with the hare and hunt with the hound, so to speak. What have we got from the tarot? The moon card at the bottom of the deck, which is the Pisces energy. Sometimes this can be quite shape-shifting in and of itself. We have the tethered one, the hanged man. This is going to be signaling a spiritual breakthrough or heightened awareness. Another chariot card, major arcana, whoa, leveling up, ascension symptoms. The seven of swords, that's the deceit and the trickery of the shapeshifter in the shadow. The three of pentacles is signaling the more harmonious aspects of teamwork and camaraderie in your life. The emperor, your strength. The five of wands, the king of swords, five of swords, the tower, and the Hierophant in reverse. So plenty of major arcana cards to delve into. I'm very excited about that. Let's have a look at the fixed star that you'll be working with in June. Regulus, the heart of the lion. This is calling you to really tap into that emperor energy you've been working with so well lately, and it's just kind of going to be bringing about more leadership, strength, courage, and stamina in your life. We're going to pull some of these cards that I often use for my past life readings. So these could come up and signal some sort of a past life experience for you that is relevant to June, or perhaps they're just going to flesh out our reading even more. Let's wait and see. We have fire. That's that fiery energy of the heart of the lion. Fear, one of our most primal fears, no? And alien, ooh, very interesting, very shape-shifty energy that I'm picking up on here. Of course, we have some reactive kind of fiery cards on the spread already, as well as the Emperor and the King of Swords, which relate very much to this very fortunate fixed star that we're working with. I'm excited, let's get into it. I really do think that the fear and the fire card speak to a past life experience. For some of you, you may be triggered by the archetype of fire, remembering that this is one of the most primal fears that we have, but again, it's also empowering to us to recognize that there's nothing to be afraid of in this lifetime. And the Tower card in your fear's position with the fiery top of the tower there is almost like a fear in today's lifetime of drama or catastrophe. You may find yourself catastrophizing certain situations. You may find yourself fearful of change and fearful of anything just like deconstructing in your life. Any destruction that's coming your way at the moment is actually going to be in your highest and best. But that primal fear from the past, a past life, somewhere in your subconscious still exists and potentially can even hold you back. Some of you are afraid of your own fire. Some of you are even afraid of your own anger and inner rage. These are healthy elements of human nature, and they work best when they're transmuted and alchemicalized into something, or alchemized, I should say, into something that's creative, something that's full of like gusto and even physical exercise and movement of your body. So remember that there's always outlets for you to express any anger that you have in a healthy and constructive way this month. The Tethered one, a very peaceful energy indeed. And dare I say, the starry night sky and the Tethered one, which is quite like an astral projection. Sometimes we'll see this called the Hanged Man, which is also a very transcendental card in the deck. And also the Chariot card, starry sky, some sort of a being from a higher plane, possibly the alien that's coming up in this reading. You are going to be dealing with themes of leveling up and ascension this month. That's what the Chariot is. It's the progression on your journey, and it's a very intuitive nudge for you that it's time to level up even further and push forward with something. And it's also a lot about moving on. This is very much the Emperor, Regulus, the Chariot. You're taking the reins. You're sitting in the driving seat this month, Pisces. And I think recently you've been blessed by the fixed star of Regulus already, because I see the Emperor in your past position. The Emperor, of course, is sitting on his throne, the heart of the lion, Regulus. This is a symbol of nobility and high ranking and nobility. I said that already. And this is also strength and courage and leadership. You've already been sinking into these archetypes in your life pretty comfortably already. And it seems like there's going to be some sort of a test of your mettle this month where you can show up for yourself and say, I can still lead. I'm not going to be overcome with temptation or succumb to any insecurities of mine, which would translate as trying to control people, control the elements, control anything in your life. The Hanged one, or the Tethered one in this case, is all about surrender. This suggests for some of you, you're going to have a quite astral experience this month. Perhaps you even feel like an alien has invaded your soul and they're teaching you something new. They're showing you the code and they're bringing you back to the codes that you were born into with your soul in this lifetime, and teaching you basically how to ascend even more and how to connect to the astral, basically. So keep keep a close eye on your dreams this month, Pisces. The Chariot card, the Emperor, the Tethered One, all major arcana card energies telling me that it is high time, and I think you're already well on that journey, where you're taking the reins of the direction of your life. The Regulus card bodes really well for both external circumstances in your life, when you're wanting to get recognized, when your superiors are admiring your work, or where you're actually being promoted, or you're more respected in your community and respected for your talents. And this sort of got to do with Leo, doesn't it? We have Mars and Venus in Leo for the month of June. This is really about tapping into the creative self-expression that is unique to you, and standing tall and proud in who you are, and knowing that those who are meant to be on your chariot journey with you, which is all about leveling up in life, those that are going to stand tall and proud with you are going to be beside you. Where you might start to see some deceptiveness rather, I'm just making up my own words here, and shapeshifter energy, well, that's related to the Seven of Swords. You're already aware of this. This is not going to be a rug pulled from under you. The Tower card is you just perhaps fearing that there's more to come, or what else am I going to find out about this, or what else am I going to unravel or uncover, and I'm not really down for any more trauma, I'm not really in the mood for any more shocks to the system. You already know this. The Seven of Swords is in the most conscious part of your reading right now, telling me basically that the wolves in sheep's clothing, the sort of unraveling of the Emperor's clothes, were they ever even there? You can see it all very clearly now. You can see people's machinations. You can see what people are up to behind the scenes. Yes, the shapeshifter does work behind the scenes, sometimes in a very benevolent way, and that's when we are rewarded, when we work behind the scenes and do good without the need for recognition. We're just being benevolent. We're being good leaders for ourselves, for our soul path, and for humanity too. But the shadow of the shapeshifter is that Seven of Swords energy, that deceptiveness and this kind of two-faced energy that you might be seeing on full display. It is the sign of the twins this season, so we can kind of expect sort of people's masks to fall a little bit, but you're seeing it very clearly, and it is actually making you want to escape, which is the shadow of Pisces, I guess. You know, when the going gets tough, I'm gonna get in my car and drive as far away as possible. But sometimes you really do need to respect and honor your boundaries, and of course your nervous system. You're going to be experiencing spiritual breakthroughs as you kind of come clean with yourself, as others come clean about their less than benevolent intentions themselves. So you're getting to see who is false and where the mask is slipping this month. But in the subconscious, you've already established who the connections are that work for you, work with you. The Three of Pentacles is about teamwork, effort, but it's more than that. It's symbiotic. It's everybody doing their share, everybody playing a role. This is the role of friendship in your life, of teamwork and of efforts that are enhanced by collaboration. So this could be coming up for you in your social sphere. This could be coming up for you at work, or any teams or associations that you're a part of and you share the same goals. So in your subconscious, it's already very settled there. It already knows basically who the real ones are and what is worth your attention and effort. These people are all working away to perfect something and make something great, and you're a part of that, Pisces. So remember, you have a role to play. You are playing it with integrity, but there are others that you're noticing at this time that are not in integrity, and this is just kind of, it's like a head here, there's just swords around your head. When you think of these people, they kind of stress you out, they give you anxiety, they can cause you to panic. They have now exposed themselves, and you're transcending above that at this time. Consider it a test. You've already stepped into the role of leadership and greater kind of command in your life. What else does it say about the Regulus card? I'll read a little something from the guide here. Okay, so it actually says that this can also be an application, and the ancients used to make talismans to use a medical application of the lion star, specifically focusing on healing dysfunction caused by melancholic humor and the first of our two temperament stars. Melancholy refers to a wide array of symptoms, both external and internal. Depression, low motivation, self-deprecation, chronic fatigue, isolation, and anxiety are just a few of the internal issues that arrive. On the outside, we may see things like mobility issues, back pain, joint pain, spleen disorders, autoimmune conditions. So those who suffer from those conditions or are heavy in melancholy and the internal will benefit this month from Regulus's appearance as a balancing factor, basically. So as well as this, it's a call for you to continue to stick to your moral compass, even when others aren't. That's part of the test. And you've already been through a lot of this, and you might be experiencing some of those external symptoms or internal symptoms indeed, but there's part of an ascension process that goes along with that. Usually when we're ascending spiritually, we will have some sort of external manifestation in the physical body too. The ascension that's happening for you now is ongoing, but what's happened in the past is you've already established yourself as a more strong, commanding, I have a right to be here energy in your life, and that's getting very fixed and rooted into basically who you are now as part of this journey. So little tests are going to come up along the way. Regulus does not reward tyrants of the kingdom. No, definitely not. Regulus will be awarding people with good fortune when they stick to their moral compass and act in integrity, even when those around you are being dicey and slippery as fuck in this shapeshifter shadow card energy. But remember, Pisces, Gemini season, the masks are going to slip off and you're going to see what you need to see. But fortunately, you have a nice subconscious, stable, grounded, committed group of friends, people that love you, people that you work with, people that are creating the same thing as you, creating a better world, creating something with their hands, whatever it may be. So as we move on into the middle part of June, there's just this little window of Gemini zipping through, Mercury zipping through Gemini from the 11th of June onwards, the same day Saturn stations retrograde in Pisces, and things get a little bit spicy there. The Five of Wands, this is when some of your fears come through, because I have this kind of fiery nature of the Five of Wands. I've got fire here and I've got fear. You are kind of threatened, not by anything too severe, but threatened by people's reactions. There might be something that you're trying to express about yourself, Pisces, that you are kind of conscious or self-conscious about and holding yourself back to a certain degree. Remember that certain people's reactions are going to be a projection of what's triggering for them. The Five of Wands, yes, it is reactive. Yes, it can speak to competition or jealousy and kind of like striving for the top spot and to be seen. You've already established that sort of energy. That's the Emperor card. You're already very fixed in what you need to do here, what your mission is, what you are like, what you actually have a right to do. I mean, we all have a right to do what we want, obviously within reason, but you've already kind of feel comfortable in that role already. So it's almost just like more tests present themselves in a really short window of time from about the 11th of June for just 2 weeks, like just before the end of the month even. There's just like other kind of more combative energies. There could be some disagreement, and there could be, the batons are held in the air and people are raring to go. So watch out for that. It's not something that's long lasting or leaves long lasting ramifications, but take note of what it is highlighting in you, and are you rising to the challenges or are you people pleasing? That's what you want to be aware of, because to be a great leader, to be a great king, and even just to take the leadership role in your own life, you have to be strong and brave and ballsy, don't you? So consider these more tests that are going to come up in the journey of June for you, where you get to rise to the challenge once again. The higher self is coming through with the message, the King of Swords. This is an Aquarian energy, and aliens are associated with Aquarius. So the higher self is saying, don't be afraid of the unknown. This is about belonging and foreign, kind of being in a foreign place perhaps comes up for you this month, or the kind of reflection on a sense of belonging and where you feel alien and where you feel more at home. And the King of Swords is saying, like, there's a mic here, there's a book of truth. It's the mic drop moment. Like, make a declaration to yourself this month. The higher self is encouraging you to speak the truth, to be clear, to clear the throat chakra, and to admit to yourself where it is that you feel alien, who you feel alien around, and who in your life is just not on the same wavelength whatsoever, so much so they feel like they are alien to you. The Five of Swords in the environment. Yes, people are making mistakes. People are fucking up. We know that. Their mask is slipping and they are showing a side of themselves that is quite less than honorable. This is like just dishonor and like, you know, fuckery well out in the open. It's not even really been trying to be concealed by these people, which is kind of awkward. But the Seven of Swords is just like it's more concealed, it's more shape-shifting, and this person, you really might say like, wow, you are incredibly two-faced, but at least you're conscious of it. It's been out in the open. What isn't really out in the open yet, is the Five of Swords in your environment. This is the card that is least in your control, but you also have control of your own boundaries and how much time you associate or merge with these external factors that are at play just for this month. But the Five of Swords is people making mistakes, people acting in very regrettable fashion, and, you know, having to write their solutions down, more like writing their apology down. Like, do they have enough paper, Pisces? I don't know. The Five of Swords is telling me that people are messing up, they are letting their kind of pretenses fall away, and the Five of Swords in the environment, there might even be, you know, sad to say it, because the Five of Swords can be kind of like a bully energy. There could be like a little bit of manipulation, shape-shifting, trickery in the environment where you're almost being painted in a different manner, or you're kind of, your code of honor, your moral compass is almost being like spoken about in a way that just is simply not true. So that's just something that could be coming up for you this month. The Fear of the Tower card, you're thinking, I have to have some peace, and that's there for you. The Hierophant is the Taurus energy of peace, but before that peace comes, there is almost this sort of fear that you need to release, or you need to have some sort of an emotional release, where either way you're looking in the mirror and kind of conquering some inner fears this month overall. The Tower card is still not manifest in reality. It's the fear of something like that happening again. You don't want anything like that to happen again. So it's kind of being felt on a cellular level, like where all trauma is really. And it's being integrated almost as like, I'm scared that this is going to happen again. I'm scared that this crisis or this chaos or this discomfort and like just bull crap is going to be like darkening my door again. So I think you're going to just stay in your lane this month. You've got a mission to complete. You're already leveling up. Soon all of this fear and all of this deception is going to be way in the back. You won't be able to even see it in the mirror anymore. You're being called towards something more benevolent and more uplifted for you. The Hierophant card tells me by the end of the month, you'll have done something radically different. This is a different approach, outside of the box thinking, whereas the Hierophant upright is all about convention and sticking to the tried and tested methods. In the reversal, this is calling for you to think outside the box and to be a little bit more, maybe, is progressive the right word to use, or avant-garde, or unpredictable, I think. Uranus, sign of planet of unpredictability, is in the sign of Taurus, which is related to the Hierophant. Uranus and Taurus, I guess that's the energy of going against the grain. I think that this month you're tapping into what it means to go against the grain and to step outside of your comfort zone and to start to create ritual, which is the Hierophant, and ceremony and traditions for yourself in a different way. It doesn't have to look the same as everybody else. That's probably going to bring out Five of Wands for people, and they'll get all heated up and fired up about it. And all you can do, Pisces, is stay in your lane. If this sounds like anything to do with a romantic or love or relationship dynamic, I do have an exclusive relationship reading, which I'll link below. It'll be found on my Patreon. If this is all you're sticking around for, I really appreciate it, and I would even appreciate it more if you would subscribe. But either way, thanks for watching, and I'll see you real soon.